Okay, I got this headliner in, except for a little bit of trimming, and I hope I don't have to do one of those again anytime soon. I'm sorry I sound a little muffled, but I got my mask on because I've been using stuff with a lot of fumes in here. So, I get a kick out of my YouTube friend Howard on Old Car Alley. He keeps talking about that he can't hear myself through this thing. He keeps pushing the wrong button on his camera. Well, when I use this phone to make videos, I have the same problem because it's got when I put it horizontally for landscape mode, the buttons are on the right side, and you got a picture button and you got a video button, and I've several times taken pictures of something that I wanted to make a video about. So, that'll make him feel a little bit better. So, anyway, one of the few things I need to continue on with this car are that I had to work on the hinges on the door, the driver's side door. And what happened with that, yeah, that wasn't going to happen. I had to take that mask off. Hopefully I won't suffocate. But so anyway, this is the, let's see, this is a lower hinge off the driver's side door over there. And the door would make a lot of noise when you opened it. It just kind of clunked and made noise and stuff. So I knew it had something wrong with the hinge. So this is the hinge, and it just unbolts from the car here, and then it bolts to the door over here. No big deal there. That's how they are. And then has your little detent down here, rollers, which I think on this one were totally frozen. They are. So, well, that one, bottom one turns a little bit, but not very well. So anyway, I was just looking at this thing, and you can see all the movement that it has in it. It's not supposed to be there. See that? So anyway, no good. So I was messing around with it, and this pin just pops out. Comes out from the top. It's not supposed to do that, though. It's supposed to be a press fit. It's supposed to be a press fit into this part of it, but obviously it isn't anymore. It just drops in there. See all that movement? So that's not good. That's what's causing that. So it also rides in this one. So this hinge is essentially just worn totally out. It just rides. This kind doesn't. You know, you see these kits that you rebuild them with. They have the little bushings in them, but these never came with that. So they just rode steel on steel, and if they lasted good, if they didn't, too bad. So when we look at the hinge here, the hinge pin rather, examine it, you can see that it has a tremendous amount of wear on it. See, it's got these little splines up there. It's supposed to hold it in, but it's got so loose and worn out, so that end's worn out. That end's worn out. I might have actually moved out of place at one point, but so that's worn out. The whole thing's worn out now. It doesn't mean you have to throw it away. You can rebuild these with a little kit. You remount these holes and put the bushings in them. So that's easily done, so it's no problem. If you look here, if you can see how there's actually fretting around the edge of that hole? And I think this one's the same way. See, there's a lip around it now. That's how worn out that is. So, put the pin in here. So if you have door hinge problems like this, don't let it go, because it causes more problems in the long run than it. Let's see, so it's all done. So my short-term solution, at some point, you don't need to buy a hinge. You can rebuild them. Like I said, you can get the kit, the pin, and all that. So that's no problem, and we'll probably do that at some point. But I have four door doors out in the yard out there in my storage area. And so I went out there and examined one of them, the correct one, and it has a good hinge on it. Now, good is subjective. It's still got just a little bit of movement. One of these had some movement in it. It might have been the top one, I think. Well, it ain't much. If I can't make it. Just a little right there. So that ain't no big deal. The pin stays in and everything. So it's in much better shape. So I just took my touch-up paint and just blew on, cleaned it up just briefly. And threw on some touch-up paint. And we're going to throw that thing in there. Now, one thing to remember when you're putting this back together, this goes up against the car. It has 2 bolts that come from the inside. That's what threads through back here. You want out? Out. That's what threads through right here, in from there, and then it's up against the car. But you notice there's some, I guess, what I call dum-dum, but dum-dum. But anyway, there's some kind of, they put some just sealant around this bolt hole here. And I'm not exactly sure of the sequence of how they did that, but I'm going to replicate it if I can get. I bet I can't see in there probably, but that's where it goes in, right there. Oh, do I have a flashlight? Yes, I do. Sorry, my shop is so blown apart. This thing actually works pretty well with one hinge on it. I'm going to use it like that. So, okay, so back in there, there's 3 bolts, and they've all got it in there. As a matter of fact, I know you can't see anything, but those 2 closest to us here, those are the ones, the bolts that come through from the inside. And then the one furthest is the one that comes from the outside. Why they did that, I don't know. But I guess I don't know. Maybe somebody knows. But so anyway, we got to dig that stuff out, and I've got some body caulk stuff to put back in there. That's just to keep it from leaking. Here's the back side of it. I haven't found yet. We can show you. All right, so you see what the deal is there. So it's just some body caulk type stuff. So we'll put that back in there. I'm pretty well sure this cold car is not going to smell like an old Mopar after all this. It just smells like, everything new, glue and vinyl, and kind of nostalgic about that, but that's okay. So, all right, so I'm going to throw that thing in there, and then, dang luck, it's going around and it's doing something over here, and happened to open this door, and I thought, well, let's see how this door hinge feels. All right, kind of hear all that noise? That's caused by the hinge pin. So guess what? That hinge is bad too. I tell you, man, I don't know how many miles this car has on it. This thing it's not used up, but it's been used. Wore the door hinges out and blew up one motor and then blew up another transmission. So, all right, guys. Well, that's what's going to happen here. Sure, turn that off. And I think this is the stuff I'm going to use on this. I've got some of this strip caulk type stuff. It'll work. That's all I got. So afterward, this is one of these things I had to go on a mission around Huntsville one day and surrounding areas to find some of that stuff, because I get on the internet and I always like to check and see that the store has the parts before I get there. I don't like just going in and say, do you have this? Well, I went to the first store that was supposed to have it, the Parts Emporium. And they looked and they looked and they looked and they looked. And they said, well, we don't have it, evidently. We can order it for you. But no, I want immediate gratification on this. So I'm just going to get in the car and just drive to wherever I have to go to get it right now. So got back in the car and went to the O'Reilly Auto Parts, which is on Bob Wallace Avenue in Huntsville. And I go there for most stuff because That's what's called. I guess I don't know if they call it that, but it's like a hub store, which means that they carry the most parts of any of the stores around. So every large city has got one or two of those. So that one is the one for O'Reilly, and then the AutoZone down on the South Parkway that I used to patronize all the time when I lived down there. That was the one for them, for AutoZone. So you should always stand the best chance of getting those parts. If you can figure out wherever your area is, which one of those is called the hub store, the distribution store, whatever they call it, main store, I don't know. But try to find that out, and that'll help you out with getting your parts. But anyway, so I found that stuff, and it wasn't cheap, but I had to have it and that's been the main thing about this is, there's stuff that I'm sure I have not done exactly right or as well as it could be done. But it's a learning process. When you've never done this, then, you figure out how you're going to put a headliner in the next time, or how you're going to do floor pans the next time, or how you're going to weld this the next time. So, again, I didn't want to do, like if that Chrysler out there needed these kind of repairs, I wouldn't have started out on it. There's no way. So, it's just, when I show you all this stuff, it's just, it's like, well, this is how it came out for me. And hopefully next time, we might do a smoother job at some of this stuff. So it's been a learning lesson. So I appreciate all the nice comments and everything, words of support. This has kind of been an unusual project for somebody to do, because most people, these cars most of them you see sitting out behind somebody's barn or garage or something like that. And they all have ratty interiors in them, and they all have rotted floors, and they all have this and they all have that. So I just decided I was going to fix this one. So anyway, guys, I will wrap this up, and just put a little short video up today for this, because I've got more to make a whole video. So working on that one too. Thanks for watching. Let's see if I can hit the right button. Ding, 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 ding. Bing.